Welcome to day 3 of the Intuitive Eating series, where we talk all about the 10 principles of an intuitive eating approach to health and well-being. My name is Kate, and I'm a registered dietitian nutritionist and owner of Kate Regan Nutrition, a virtual private practice based in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Today we're talking about principle number 3, make peace with food. This is where you allow yourself unconditional permission to eat all foods. Yes, even the ones that were previously off limits on past diets, and the ones that you may have restricted before, and the ones that you probably feel a little bit out of control around. Something happens when you restrict food, and I want to relate it to a pendulum. The more momentum you have in a pendulum, the more it swings back, and forth. If you have restriction on one side and loss of control eating or binge eating on the other side, the further you swing that pendulum back towards restriction, which is what happens on diets, the more momentum you have to swing all the way towards loss of control and binge eating. With intuitive eating, the goal is to take that momentum out so that you no longer have these extremes and you can just be comfortable and at peace with all foods, and you can feel in control. Something might happen when you start to reintroduce all of these foods that were previously off limits and all of the foods that you really love again. And it's called the honeymoon period. This is a really exciting time when you're eating a lot of these foods that you feel out of control around, and you might be eating them in larger amounts than feel good to you currently. This doesn't last forever though. That's why it's called the honeymoon period, because it's a really exciting time. What happens is something called food habituation. The more that you eat a certain food, the less appealing it becomes to you and the less intense cravings you'll have for it, because it's just normalized and just part of your normal life. These foods become less special and less up on a pedestal because you have access to them all the time. Think about something that you eat on a regular basis that you don't have any feelings about, good or bad. How do you feel around that food? And don't you wish you could feel like that around all foods? That's the point of intuitive eating, so that you can include all foods into your diet and not feel good or bad about it. Just feel however your body feels. This is where that inner attunement piece comes into play. I want you to try something. I want you to go out and buy a food that you currently feel out of control around. Something like ice cream or chips, something that you've previously restricted on past diets that you have strong cravings for. Buy that food, bring it into your house, and allow yourself to eat it in amounts that satisfy you whenever you want. And start to notice the effects of food habituation for yourself.